Okay, take 2001. Does red light therapy actually work? Well, in my opinion, it does. I'm going to take you through in this video why I bought this machine in the first place. The one that I have here next to me, you can see it kind of running, is the Kala Red Light Pro. It's about a 14-inch panel. I'll explain why I picked this one, what I used it for, how I used it, and what I plan on using it for in the future. So I'll jump right into it. Essentially, about November of last year, I had a pretty significant flare-up of eczema. It was not pretty. Uh, my eczema gets to the point typically where I'll start bleeding from some of the sores, but usually it's in a localized area. This time it wasn't. It was all over my entire upper body, and it was creeping down my legs as well. It was pretty awful. It got to a point where I wouldn't leave the house in anything but full sleeves, full pants, everything. I didn't want anybody to see it, not family, friends, anybody. It was not pretty. So if you've suffered from eczema before, maybe you had success with creams and ointments and other stuff like that, but I never have. Like, I've suffered from this my entire life. Usually mine is brought on by stress, and the only thing that gets rid of it is when the stress is gone. Uh, Unfortunately, this time that wasn't going to happen, at least not for quite a while. I knew that. And I had heard about near-infrared saunas and infrared saunas for a while now. I mean, they're pretty popular in the sports world. And I saw that a lot of people were using them for skin issues. So I saw that Kala recommended it as eczema treatment. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'll try it. If it doesn't work, no worries, I'll return it, get my money back. It's not a big deal. So I bought it. I received it probably at the beginning of December, partway through December, and it comes with a user manual here where they give you kind of the recommended treatments and frequencies that you can program into it. There's an LED thing on the side there. And I used all of the recommendations. So I would use it when I was in the shower and the bath. That wasn't one of the recommendations, but I would just use it to light up the bathroom when I was in there. And then once I got out, I would stand in front of it naked. I would stand in front of it either 6 to 3 inches away, covering the front upper half of my body essentially, and then stand in front of it for 15 minutes. Then I would do the same thing for another 15 minutes on the back. And that was it. And I would do that every single day. I didn't take a single day off in the week from it. And probably by around day 20-ish, I could start seeing my eczema slowly fading away. Certain areas had started to clear up. Other areas were just getting less intense. And then probably by day, I want to say 40, most of my eczema was gone. I still had stuff on my shoulders and chest a little bit, but beyond that, it was mostly gone. My stomach was fine. My back was primarily healed. And I was pretty satisfied with it. I kept using it, and I use it pretty much every single day still. I've started using it in terms of helping with recovery from training. So after runs specifically, I'll use it on my lower legs, which have always been a problem area for me. And again, they have different frequencies for different things. So, oh, hi, Mr. Moose. So I would use the bone frequency after training. If I'm sitting in the bath, I'll probably use the blood circulation or something else like that. They have a few in the manual and whatnot to choose from. And so far, I've liked it. It's been pretty good. I haven't been the same, I would say, I don't have the same devotion when it comes to the recovery and using it as a tool for there. And I haven't really been using it too much on my face. But those are two things that I plan on doing moving forward on a day-to-day basis with the same kind of intensity that I was trying to treat my eczema with. The reason why I ended up choosing Kala Red Light Therapy is because they seem to be one of the better companies in the space. Take for that what you will. Also, they're pretty local to me. I live in Canada. They're also based in Canada, so shipping was quite easy. I wasn't going to have to pay a lot of important duties and stuff like that to get it. So that was one of the main things. The reason why I chose this size of panel is because they do have a smaller like handheld device, which I do think would be really useful for travel and other purposes. But this one was within my kind of budget and also the size that I kind of wanted. There's one that's about 3 of these together, and that's the one I did want, but it was fairly expensive. So I opted for this one just to try it, see if it works, and then down the road, if I have that money, then I'll spend to get a larger one. But I think this one might be one of the better ones to get just because it's easy for you to take around the house. It's easy for me to take on and off of the counter in the bathroom, so you can position it where you need to in order to get the recovery benefits that you want. With a larger one, you're kind of, where you put it is kind of where it's going to stay for the most part. It's not the easiest thing to lug around, I would imagine. So that's the main reason why I ended up getting this one. So if you have questions about it, I know I didn't explain anything about like what red light therapy is or near infrared light and all that kind of stuff. I assumed if you clicked into the video, you probably knew about that and you were just trying to make a decision of whether or not it was worth it or not to get one of these. In my opinion, yes. If you do have the money for it, then I would at least try it, and if not, just return it. But for me, using it very seriously, like as in using it every day and making sure that I was very close to it and all that, it really helped me a lot now that I don't have to deal with all that. Whether it really helps with muscle and bone and other recovery modalities, I'm not sure yet. I'll probably make a follow-up video to see, to say whether or not it works or not. But if you do have any questions or comments, then feel free to leave them and I'll definitely answer that for you. I'll turn it on to the second stage just so you can see it, I guess. But Mr. Moose here definitely likes it as he's getting very warm in front of it. So that's when the second stage lights are on. So it's quite a bit different. It's quite bright. Yeah. So this is what it looks like, generally speaking, when I'm using it. If I'm using it on my face, I'll generally be pretty much this close, and I'll do the 15 minutes. And then when I do my back and chest or any other area, I'll generally be very close to it. So probably be about here. If I need to get or expose a different area of my body, for example, my shoulders aren't really getting a lot this close to it, right? So I'll move around a little bit during that 15 minutes, and I'll make sure that each area that I want to get covered has probably about 5 or 6 minutes of exposure during that time. But yeah, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Just turn around and do the back. And there's not much to it. You just kind of sit here. It gets pretty boring. So music and videos tend to help, but yeah, I definitely recommend it. If you're looking into this and you're on the fence about whether or not you should get a red light therapy device, then yeah, definitely recommend it. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, again, just leave them in the comments below. Thanks. See ya.